Your elected representatives are back from their summer vacations to tackle our nation's most pressing issues. No, since returning to Washington earlier this month, they haven't pushed through new legislation to make housing more affordable, solve the climate crisis, or roll out a nationwide comprehensive child care program, but they have made significant progress on one major issue that's affecting their lives: what they're allowed to wear to work. Earlier this week, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that lawmakers no longer have to adhere to the Senate's informal dress code. I say informal because it's not an official rule, though it is formal in the sense that it's long required men to wear a coat and tie and women to wear dresses that cover their shoulders or pantsuits within the confines of the chamber. And the Senate Majority Leader's move is actually in line with where the American culture is today, where people pretty much dress however they want, wherever they want. 5 short years ago, the fashion trend of the time was to dress up like a construction worker. And even Condé Nast Traveler has written a guide on how to pull off pajamas on an airplane, which the News Refresh would like to remind you is still a public place. And we all seem to be pretty cool now with turning Casual Friday into Casual Entire Calendar. A recent Ipsos survey of about 1,000 of our friends, family, and neighbors showed that the majority of us thinks that it's appropriate to wear shorts, a chain necklace, and a baseball cap to work. So great news if you're Fred Durst. And even better news if you're Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, who's long eschewed a closet full of Brooks Brothers uniforms in favor of hoodies and shorts that suggest, I've at least got to wear something to Sheets. Indeed, since Pennsylvania elected Fetterman as senator last November, he's often circumvented the Senate's dress code by sticking his head through doorways to vote, like a guy trying to see if you're done with that conference room yet, as to not step on the Senate floor with, God forbid, bare legs. But the thing with Fetterman here isn't that he's popping in and out of what Chief Justice John Roberts has called the world's greatest deliberative body, looking like he's there to round up a group for some quick 3-on-3 pickup action. During his Senate campaign, Fetterman suffered a stroke that led to a difficult recovery and ongoing auditory processing issues. And earlier this year, he checked himself into the hospital for 6 weeks to treat clinical depression, a common condition that arises for stroke survivors. Now, when Fetterman arrived at the Senate, he appeared in a full traditional suit, tiny lapel pin and all. But it wasn't until after leaving treatment for depression that he began dressing like his old self again. And back in May, CBS News reported that his fellow senators have said that he's been a joy to be around since he and his baggy shorts have returned. But not everyone is on board shorts with these senatorial attire changes. And they're not just the boilerplate objections of Maryland Senator Joseph A. Bank. On Wednesday, a group of 46 Republican senators sent a letter to Leader Schumer, a Democrat, whose barely legible signatures stressed the importance of appearing professional. We understand the seriousness our positions require, said the letter about wearing a tie. Allowing casual clothing on the Senate floor disrespects the institution we serve and the American families we represent. Among the signatories of that letter was Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who himself has showed up to vote at the Senate wearing gym shorts because Congress had the gall to schedule a vote in the middle of his basketball game. And over in the House, Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who recently held up graphic pornographic images of the president's son in the middle of a House oversight hearing, wrote that the Senate needs to stop lowering the bar of society's standards. And critics aren't only coming after this rule change from the other side of the dressing room. According to The Hill, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia told Fetterman he thinks this dress code change is wrong and degrades the chamber. But Fetterman appears to be taking this whole thing in a bare-legged stride and is now selling minimalist shorts and a "I vote in this hoodie" on his website. But don't even think about wearing that stuff into the Senate yourself. Visitors and staff members are still required to wear coats, ties, and business attire. Come on, have some class.